Good afternoon. We come to you live from George Sparky Anderson Field on the beautiful campus of California Lutheran University here in Thousand Oaks, California, as the Conejo Oaks, currently second place in the California Collegiate League, host the first place Santa Barbara Foresters. It's great to have you with us. We welcome you up to the broadcast booth alongside Judo Kanyas. My name is Sammy Fawn. Now, the Conejo Oaks starting off this week facing the Foresters, and the Oaks played the Foresters just 4 days ago. They topped the Foresters and it was a 4-1 victory. This is the second time in 4 days that these teams are playing each other, but it was certainly a good win on Friday for the Oaks.
No, it certainly was, and it was the starting pitching that got things started with Caden Beloyan on the mound, and then the relief guys that came in and only held the Foresters to just one run in the entire game. So I think in the 4-game winning streak that we saw the Oaks go on last week before the tough loss on the road against the Riptide 11-3 on Sunday to finish out the week, it was really the starting pitching and the pitchers as a whole that really came in and contributed to a lot of the success. And so I think I expect the same thing as we see Charlie Decker. He had a great night against the Arroyo Seco Saints just a week ago where he just held the Saints to just one run and 6 hits.
Yeah, it was certainly a well-earned win from Charlie Decker, the left-hander from the University of Puget Sound, and he gets ready to face Brenton Clark. Well, Charlie Decker, he was the winning pitcher last Tuesday against the Arroyo Seco Saints. He pitched 5 innings of 1-run ball, and he struck out 4 batters in that game. And it's great to have you with us. Off we go. And Brenton Clark bunts it backwards for strike 1. Well, the Santa Barbara Foresters currently off to a 3-game winning streak. They had their loss against the Conejo Oaks last Friday, but since then they have picked up wins. They won 2 games against the San Luis Obispo Blues, 1 at home and 1 on the road. And just yesterday, they played their makeup game against the Riptide, and they won 5-1 as that one is fouled off to the right side, nothing in 2. Well, we take a look at the batting order for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Brenton Clark leading off. He's followed by Terrence Keel and Easton Mumaw. In the middle, Cole Chamberlain, Sawyer Farr, and Brady Dallimore. And to finish it off, Caden Miller, Caleb Hoover, and Zane Becker, as that one is skied into left field. And the catch is made out there by Jax Jimenez for the first out. And defensively for the Conejo Oaks, Charlie Decker on the mound. Landon West making his 2025 debut, returner from 2024. At first base, Devin Wilkes. At second base, Cade Falskin. At third base, Tyler Hawley. Brady Hewitt at short. And in the outfield, from left to right, Jax Jimenez, Tommy Kenlinger, and Lucas. Terrence Keel steps in with 1 out here in the first. That one is skied in the air to left center field. Tommy Kenlinger to his right makes the easy catch for the second out. So 2 batters, 2 flyouts on 4 pitches is what we've seen so far.
Yeah, Decker was extremely effective in the 5 innings he pitched versus the Saints. Just allowed 1 run and 6 hits and 2 walks. He had 4 strikeouts in the 22 batters that he faced. In fact, he was our pitcher of the week for the Conejo Oaks in week 4 as he started things off on that 4-game winning streak that the Oaks saw last week.
Brings up Easton Mumaw, the third baseman for Santa Barbara. Charlie Decker with an off-speed strike to the outside corner, 0-1. Well, Easton Mumaw, a rising junior at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. As he lines that one into right center field, that's down for a base hit. So with 2 outs, Easton Mumaw gets a good piece of that ball, drives it to right center field for a 2-out single.
Good piece of hitting right there, just gets it over the infield.
Brings up Cole Chamberlain, the designated hitter for Santa Barbara, one of the catchers. It's Zane Becker who's behind the plate today, as was the case when these 2 teams played each other last at Eddie Matthews Field at Santa Barbara High School. First pitch from Decker is a fastball strike on the upper part of the zone, 0-1.
Chamberlain, a sophomore at University of Texas, where he batted .135 this past season in 22 games he played. 4-year varsity starter at San Marin High School in Novada, California.
0-1 is a strike that catches the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Decker ahead in the count early with Easton Mumma at the plate. Or, I beg your pardon, Cole Chamberlain. Mumma the runner at first with 2 outs. 0-2 on the way. Strike 3 called right on the outside corner. So no runs on 1 hit, 1 runner left stranded. We head to the bottom of the first. Stay tuned. Here we are in the bottom of the first inning. The Santa Barbara Foresters take the field as the Oaks come up to bat. Starting on the mound for the Foresters is Noah Waldeck. Waldeck making his 4th appearance this summer. The last time he pitched against the Conejo Oaks, it was June 11th. It was a 9-5 victory for the Oaks. Waldeck pitched 2 1/3 innings that game, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 2 and walked 2, and he faces Tommy Kenlinger to lead things off. Kenlinger looks at a fastball strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Well, Noah Waldeck, a rising redshirt junior at St. Mary's College of California, where he transferred after redshirting at Palomar Junior College. As Kenlinger looks at a ball upstairs to even the count.
Yeah, Kenlinger back in the leadoff spot for the Oaks. Had the day off on Sunday as Ethan Gonzalez took the role as leadoff in their 11-3 loss versus the Riptide.
Check swing, it misses down and away for a ball. Yeah, and Gonzalez not in the starting lineup tonight, but you know, going into Sunday and as of Tuesday, now on an 8-game hitting streak. There's a fly ball high in the air to left center field. Brenton Clark to his right makes the catch. 1 away. Well, the batting order for the Conejo Oaks, Kenlinger leading off in center field, Danuit second and right, followed by Galloway, the DH. In the middle, Landon West, Tyler Holly, and Devin Wilkes. And to finish it off, it's Brady Hewitt at short, Jimenez in left, and Caden Falskin at second base. So here is Lucas Danuitz. He looks at an off-speed strike, no balls and 1 strike. And defensively for the Foresters, Waldeck on the mound, Becker behind the plate. At first base, Caleb Hoover, as that one is fouled away, and Terrence Keel at second base, Sawyer Farr at short, Easton Mumma at third base. In the outfield from left to right, it's Dallimore, Clark, and Caden Miller.
Danuitz was 2 for 4 with a walk in the loss on Sunday for the Oaks.
0-2 on the way. It buzzes him. It's high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
One of the few productive bats we saw from the Oaks.
Off-speed slider misses away. 2 balls and 2 strike. Well, Lucas Danuitz just graduated with his undergrad, his bachelor's in marketing communication from Calu, has 1 more year of eligibility on Calu's baseball team as that one is fouled away. So he'll play 1 more year for Calu while pursuing his MBA. coming off of a year where he was first team All-SCIAC and third team All-Region. 2-2. There's a fly ball in the air to right field. And the catch is made out there and right by Caden Miller. So out number 2. And, you know, just like the Foresters, the first 2 batters fly out. It brings up Jacob Galloway, designated hitter for the Oaks. Galloway now one of 5 Oaks with a home run this season. He hit his home run last week against the Arroyo Seco Saints. It was a 2-run blast way back to right center field at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. As he fouls that one into the dirt, 0-1. Jacob Galloway has been a regular in the lineup and, you know, between catcher's position and the designated hitter, but he's become more regular lately than Anthony Thomas and some of the other catchers, although Landon West is making his season debut. So that one is fouled in the dirt. In fact, West is on deck.
Yeah, just arrived to the team earlier this week. Or I should just say Monday.
No balls and 2 strikes on Galloway. Beautiful day here in Thousand Oaks, California. 0-2 misses upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Galloway just recently committed to Oregon State. Spent the past season at Texas A&M. Back in the Pac-12.
1-2 ground ball to short. And Sawyer Farr throws to first to get the out. And we go now to the second inning. No score. We'll be back. No score as we enter the second inning here at George Sparky Anderson Field at California Lutheran University. Oaks hosting the Foresters. If you're just joining us, I'm Sammy Fawn alongside Judo Kanyas. And so Charlie Decker enters his second inning of work. He will face the switch-hitting shortstop Sawyer Farr for the Foresters. Farr getting the start at shortstop today. First pitch is a low fastball, 1-0 on Sawyer Farr. Well, Farr, fresh out of his freshman year at Texas A&M, where he started in 31 out of his 39 appearances. Recorded 15 hits as he fouls that one back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Graduated from Boswell High School, where he was ranked as the number 7 player in Texas, the number 3 shortstop by perfect game. He's also the number 67 player nationally by perfect game. 1-1. Chopped foul to the left side.
Yeah, he's one of 2 Aggies on this team. Second baseman today for the Foresters, Terrence Kill. The other Aggie. Farr also with a brother, Cade, who played baseball at Texas Tech.
1-2. Here's a fly ball high in the air to left center field. Jax Jimenez moving to his left. makes the catch several feet short of the track for the first out.
Yeah, that had a good pop to it. Just didn't get the distance that far likely wanted.
Well, that now brings up Brady Dallimore, who's getting the start in left field for the Foresters. First pitch from Decker. Chop backwards, foul, 0-1.
A freshman at TCU. Played his high school ball at Palo Verde High School in Las Vegas, Nevada.
On an 0-1, it misses outside to even the count at 1. Yeah, Brady Dallimore is the 4th-ranked catcher on the Prep Baseball 2025 MLB Draft Board. As that one misses outside, it's now a 2-1 count.
Yeah, he owns 2 of the 3 home runs the Foresters have hit this season. Batting .268.
That one is fouled off to the left side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, he's overcome some adversity in his playing career. He missed the 2024 season due to a left meniscus injury. In 2025, he hit 4 home runs at Palos Verdes High School. 2-2 from Decker. Chop to the left side. Nice pick by Tyler Hawley. And he throws to first for out number 2. Well, that's just Hawley right there showing off his magnetic glove there at third base as he makes that pick look too easy.
Yeah, he also showed it off against the Riptide. He made a backhanded on-the-throw run to first base on Sunday. He's been... Honestly, I will say his progression at third base has increasingly gotten better with every game. He had a few errors kind of to start the season, and now he's found a little more comfort.
Well, now the batter is Caden Miller, the right fielder for the Foresters, and he looks at a ball in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Foresters first place in the CCL, 14-4. And they have a chance to extend their winning streak. The Oaks are currently 2-1 against the Foresters so far this year. As that one is fouled off Dallimore's shin. Yeah, the first time these 2 teams played each other, it was a brutal loss for the Conejo Oaks at home. And that was back on June 7th. A 14-5 landslide victory for the Foresters.
Yeah, well,
largely marked by that 5-run 5th inning.
Yeah, heading into the weekend for the Foresters, after the 4-1 win by the Oaks, it was just a 1-game difference between the 1st and 2nd seed, but the Foresters have been able to respond with, like you mentioned, Sammy, 3 straight wins.
That hits Miller in the back, so he'll head down to first, and that'll bring up Caleb Hoover for the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Now batting number 14, Caleb Hoover.
Well, Caleb Hoover, first baseman for the Foresters, currently batting .173. He's got 3 doubles on the year. Has Miller at first, has a good lead. Grounded to the right side. Wilkes takes it and quickly steps on the bag to record the 3rd out. So no runs, no hits, 1 hit batter. But we now head to the bottom of the 2nd. No score at Sparky Anderson Field. Here we are in the bottom of the second inning, no score. It'll be the middle of the lineup first up for the Conejo Oaks, starting with Landon West, the returner from last season, part of the 2024 CCL championship team. He gets ready to step in there. A rising junior at Rice University. Landon West last year batted .267 for the Oaks. As there's a strike that hits the corner, 0-1. He went 23 for 86 last season for the Oaks. Slugged .326. Drove home 18 runs as he fouls that one off to the right side. So he comes to the Oaks as they begin their second half of the season, essentially, as we enter month number 2 of the 2025 CCL summer season. No balls and 2 strikes on Landon West. Waldeck delivers. Soft grounder to the right side, foul ball.
Yeah, he was also valuable just in the playoff run itself. He batted .300 in the 3 games he played in 10 at-bats, had 1 run, 3 hits, 2 of those being doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks, as well as a stolen base.
0-2 on the way. Misses upstairs for a ball, 1-2.
He'd also be now the 5th player for the Oaks we've seen behind the dish this summer. It's been Anthony Thomas, Jacob Galloway, Nolan Johnson, and Jose Vasquez.
Fastball buzzes him inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, West this past season hit 5 home runs for Rice University. Certainly an instrumental factor of the Oaks' run, as that one is popped up to the left side. Right by the line, the catch is made at third base by Easton Mumaw for the first out. That'll bring up Tyler Hawley. Now, we saw Tyler Hawley get his first home run of the season this past Saturday. It was against the Orange County Riptide. The game was played at Ventura College. Oaks were the home team that game, but you know, one might say that the Oaks had a different advantage from what they've had against the Riptide in the other games that they've played so far, as Hawley takes a strike. But you know, from between the Oaks and the Riptide so far, we've seen the Oaks suffer a 14-3 loss at Great Park and an 11-3 loss the same place. As Hawley flies that one in the air to right field near the line, Caden Miller into foul territory, makes the catch, and his momentum takes him straight into the wall, out number 2.
Yeah, the other thing about that is it's also been, you said, same place, same team, and same innings. It's been the 5th and the 6th inning that has just brought terror for the Oaks. It's now been, I guess you call, 4 innings between the 5th and the 6th, where the Riptide have scored 5 runs in each of those.
That would be 20 runs collectively between those 4 innings that we speak of now.
Game-changing stuff.
There's a fastball outside, 1-0.
But Landon West coming now in the month of July for the Oaks is it's a big time for him to come now, as the Oaks have kind of dealt with a lot of catcher injuries. Obviously, Jacob Galloway, like we mentioned, has been the primary guy behind the dish, but guys like Anthony Thomas, Nolan Johnson dealing with just minor injuries.
Devin Wilkes pops that one up into foul territory. And nobody got it. It did land into foul territory, so, you know, both an unlucky and lucky break for the Foresters. It's interesting to see. It was Waldeck who called it off, and, you know, it's always safer to let your defense take care of you and go for the ball. And, you know, you saw Mumaw right behind him, and the ball took a last-second twist. But Devin Wilkes gets another life.
Yeah, Waldeck just got it 2 ahead of the ball. And I agree with you, Sammy. I think Mumaw was setting up to be in the position to get the out. But, yeah, like you said, Waldeck called him off. Now 1-1 to Wilkes.
Wilkes swings and misses at that one for strike 2. And, you know, Wilkes was ready to fire away and make the Foresters pay for that mistake. He still could right here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Waldeck delivers. And Wilkes foul tips that one right into the glove of Zane Becker. So now we head to the third inning, no score here at Sparky Anderson Field. On to the third inning we go. No score here at George Sparky Anderson Field. And the Foresters come up to bat here in third inning. Leading things off will be Zane Becker, the catcher, the number 9 man in the Santa Barbara Foresters lineup. Gets his first swings here against Charlie Decker. First pitch is popped up on the infield. Cade Falskin calling for it. He makes the catch under the sun, 1 out.
Yeah, it's interesting. He actually has sunglasses on the top of his hat, not choosing to wear them right now. I think right there would have helped him a little bit, but still got the out.
Brings up Brenton Clark, who flew out his first time up. As Charlie Decker in his third inning of work, he's had a great season. Certainly his strongest performance was last Tuesday against the Saints in Pasadena. Fastball right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Well, Charlie Decker so far this season, a 4.15 ERA. It's 1 strikeout so far today, and he delivers another strike right on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes now.
Yeah, came into this game leading all Oaks pitchers with 14 strikeouts. Has also pitched the second most innings of any Oak pitcher.
Oh, 2 on the way, a swing and a miss. So Charlie Decker now with his second strikeout, and that was a good location from Decker. Kind of went up and in on Clark, a tough pitch to hit, and also just, yeah, great location all around.
Yeah, choked him up, and Decker's not someone that you're going to see, flaring 90-mile-per-hour fastballs. He's really going to make you think about if you want to chase a pitch or not, but he does it with off-speed and a good slider.
There's a strike on the outer part of the plate. Well, Charlie Decker, another returner for the Conejo Oaks from last season on the championship team. Last year he composed of a 3.57 ERA. He struck out 14 batters. Did not have a record, as Keel went around at that one for strike 2. Charlie Decker now with a 2-1 record following his win against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Came into this game having pitched 13 cumulative innings. That one misses downstairs, 1-2. Terrence Keel, you mentioned played his freshman year, fresh out of Texas A&M, as he swings and misses at that one for strike 3. And that'll end the third inning, a 1-2-3 inning for Charlie Decker. That would be his first, and we head to the bottom of the third, no score. Oaks will come to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Brady Hewitt leading things off for the Oaks, the starting shortstop. Now, we've seen Hewitt both at shortstop and also playing as the designated hitter, and we didn't first start seeing him as the designated hitter until a couple games after his injury at short, where he took a ground ball that took a nasty hop and hit him square in the face, and that one is fouled straight back against the screen, 0-1.
Yeah, it was a very fast recovery, to be honest. I mean, broken nose you can kind of just put back in place, but yeah, he came back within few days, but like you said, he was in the DH, not shortstop.
That one is fouled off to the left side, 0-2.
And the Foresters right now have pretty much started their, I should say the Oaks have pretty much started the game exactly like how it was last Friday. All 6 of their batters were retired in a row.
High chopper goes to third. Mumaw hesitated, now throws to first, and it's not in time, and it deflects off of Hewitt, so he remains at first, and the Foresters sort of catch a break right there as that ball just happened to catch Hewitt as he was running down. That's not a situation of interference or anything. That's just pure luck.
Yeah, Hewitt definitely could have turned it for 2 had it not hit him. No one was kind of over there. I mean, we saw Millard do his best to come all the way from right field, but even then it would have not stopped Hewitt from advancing for 2.
Yeah, once Mumaw had trouble getting it out of his glove right there, at that point he's already too late, and then to try to throw it, I would think that would be a single and an error. It is a hit on the scoreboard, and that one misses outside for a ball to Jax Jimenez, the left fielder.
Yeah, also part of the Oaks Home Run Club. Hit one last Wednesday versus the Saints.
That one misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And we've talked about his home run. It was tracked by our trackman at 409 feet. Of course, that's only accounting for the fact that it hit the protective screen out in right field in front of the tennis courts in that parking lot. As they check on Hewitt at first, he gets back.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it hit the lower part of the protective screen. It hit the near upper part, so
yeah.
Only knows how far that would have been.
And a check on Hewitt. Pretty good move there by Noah Waldeck, keeping an eye on Hewitt, who can run very well. Cade Falskin waits on deck. It's been quite a while since we've seen him in game action as Waldeck delivers, and Jimenez flies one in the air to center field, and Brenton Clark comes on to make the catch for the first out.
Yeah, that was good reactionary defense right there from Clark. It was a well-hit ball by Jimenez, and Clark had to make a dash kind of into shallow center field to be able to make the play.
Well, now up to the plate comes Cade Falskin, the second baseman. The last time we saw him play was back on June 18th when the Oaks creamed the Barons 19-6. He went 1 for 3 that game with an RBI triple. He had 3 RBIs that game. As that one misses down and in for a ball. So Hewitt at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Tommy Kendlinger waits on deck. One out. That one is ripped into right field for a base hit. Hewitt will head for third, and he will make it. The throw is cut off. So with 1 out, Cade Falskin rips a single to right field, and the Oaks have runners at the corners now with 1 out.
Yeah, it's got to feel great if you're Falskin, you know, like you mentioned, not playing since June 18th, and just drives the ground ball into right center field as Hoover did his best to try to get under it. But now you bring up Tommy Kendlinger, who batting .261 on the season with 12 hits. A guy, if you're the Oaks, you want him at the plate right now with Hewitt just 90 feet and away from getting a run.
All Kendlinger needs to do is hit a ball deep enough to the outfield or place it well enough on the ground. As Kendlinger looks at a strike on the upper part of the zone.
Yeah, Kendlinger with at least a hit in the past 4 games, 3 out of the 4 games.
No balls and 1 strike. Fastball misses down and away. Falskin with a big lead at first. Shortly before that pitch, well, yeah, the infield is in pretty normal double play position. A double play would get them out of this inning. Hewitt at third, Falskin at first. 1 out. 1-1 from Waldeck. Slapped foul to the right side. 1-2. Lucas Danuitz waits on deck. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 runners on with 1 out. Check on Falskin at first.
Yeah, Falskin has 2 stolen bases on the season.
One ball and 2 strikes. 2 on, 1 out. There goes Falskin, and Kendlinger chops it on the infield. This will bring a run home. Throw to first is not in time.
Great base running right there from Tommy Kendlinger, who turns on the Jets. And it was kind of a tough chopper. It kind of didn't get immediately into the shortstop post, and that was Easton Mumma who had to make all the run from third base to even try to make the play. And yeah, great job by Tommy Kendlinger turning on the wheels in the first run for the Oaks.
Yes, he drives home Brady Hewitt. It's 1-0 Oaks. Well, yeah, this is sort of been a little bit of a frustrating inning in that sense for Easton Mumma at third. That's the second chopper like that we've seen him take, as Bill Pintard, the head coach for the Foresters, talking with the first base umpire about that play. It was a bang-bang play at first, and certainly looked like the foot of Kendlinger and the ball got there at roughly the same time. It's, it can be tough to tell exactly, how much one beat the other. It looked like Kendlinger just beat that one.
Yeah, and as an umpire with no review, you just got to go with what your gut tells you right there. And yeah, it was a bang-bang play. But Tommy Kendlinger, I mean, if he didn't give it his all, he definitely would have been out there.
Hit and run works for the Oaks as Danuitz fouls it off. And yeah, I think the bang-bang nature of that play really came down to Easton Mumma, realizing that there were other runners ahead of Kendlinger, but his only play at that point was first, and he got rid of it as quick as he could, but the wheels of Kendlinger, as you described, they just beat that throw. Here's the 0-1. Misses downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Danuitz 0 for 1 today, popped out to right field in his first plate appearance, but he's had a strong season, leads the team with 19 hits, batting .311.
Fastball misses just a little bit outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Danuitz, remember in the Oaks' game at Ventura College, he tied the game in extra innings against the Orange County Riptide with a single to left field. 2-1. Up and in, ball 3. It's a 3-1 hitter's count on Lucas Danuitz. Yeah, Danuitz, you mentioned a .311 hitter, has scored 10 runs for the Oaks. Another returner from the 2024 champion season. There's a strike downstairs, and throw to second, and Kendlinger is out. Well, saw Cade Falskin running and took off at that point, but Kendlinger just got too late of a break. It looked like also Becker, he had basically let Falskin go to third at that point. So double steal, kind of a strange delay, anticipating that it would be ball 4 or a ball put in play, but now there's 2 outs with a runner at third. 3-2. Line drive, caught on a hop by Sawyer Farr, throws to first in time. So the damage limited to 1 run on an infield single by Kendlinger. We now head to the 4th inning. We're a third of the way through this game. Stay tuned. Here we are now in the 4th inning. Foresters will come back up to bat against Charlie Decker, and leading things off for Santa Barbara will be Easton Mumma. Mumma so far has the only hit for the Foresters. He singled back in the 1st inning. He gets his 2nd at bat right here. Foresters chasing a run as it's 1-0 Oaks. Off speed, misses just a hair off the plate, 1-0. Charlie Decker seemingly cruising through his first few innings. He has thrown 3 shutout innings so far. 1-0, fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, up to 3 strikeouts already through 3 innings.
One. Mumma gets a piece of that one, fouls it off. Yeah, I mean, when you think back to Charlie Decker's last outing, which was against the Saints, pitched his first 3 innings scoreless. And yeah, it was almost the same. He got 4 strikeouts in his first 3 innings that game. Would get his 5th in that 4th inning. That one misses inside. So it's now a 2-2 count on Easton Mumma. Saw some tough luck at 3rd base in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-2. Misses low and outside, a full count. Three and 2 to start the top of the 4th inning as Charlie Decker deals the payoff. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Charlie Decker here in the 4th inning, 1 down.
Yeah, it's now his 3rd straight strikeout as he's carried on where he left off in the 3rd inning.
Well, that brings up Cole Chamberlain, the designated hitter. Well, Cole Chamberlain batting .282 so far this season, has 11 hits. He struck out looking his first time up. Fastball misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, as far as the CCL South goes, Foresters, the Oaks, and the Saints, the top 3. In the CCL North, the Walnut Creek Crawdads, Alameda Merchants, and the Sonoma Stoppers atop of those standings. So that one hits the outside corner for a strike. One ball and 1 strike on Cole Chamberlain with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Decker deals. Misses low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Charlie Decker, pitcher at the University of Puget Sound of the Northwest Conference, a conference that is definitely familiar here on the campus of Kalu, as Kalu plays, each sport plays at least 1 or 2 Northwest Conference teams every year. Recalling back to 2024 when the Kalu Kingsmen hosted 2 games against the University of Puget Sound Loggers, took both of those games pretty soundly. 2 balls and 1 strike. Chopped foul against right below the knees of Cole Chamberlain.
Yeah, putting up a good fight at this at-bat. He was frozen on Charlie Decker's first strikeout back in the 1st inning.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Sawyer Farr waits on deck. The 2-2. Another foul ball. Cole Chamberlain, yeah, to your point, putting up a very nice at-bat against Charlie Decker, making him work. That's the key. When you make pitchers work, not only does it wear them out, but you also start to gain more experience and learn, okay, so I saw this pitch from the pitcher that was, it was roughly this speed. I got to adjust. I got to, maybe shorten my swing. Whatever it is that you got to do to stay on top of the pitches. And look at that, another foul ball. That one sort of went zigzag into the dirt and to the backstop.
Yeah, and also can set up a guy like Sawyer Farr who's coming up next. Just seeing what Decker is currently working with.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Pitch on the way. That one is fouled straight back and out of play. Still a 2-2 count. Well, certainly a very good at bat that Chamberlain is putting up against Decker. And I wonder if any kid has gotten their free candy yet. I'm sure some have. 2-2. There's a line drive. Base hit to right field. So Cole Chamberlain with a great at-bat against Charlie Decker produces a 1-out single to right field. Just the 2nd hit of the day for the Forsters.
Yeah, it was a good job by Chamberlain through the whole at-bat and then finally finding the pitch that he liked and was able to drive that into right field. So it's now the 2nd hit of the day for the Forsters.
Brings up Sawyer Farr. He flew out to left field his first time up. A shortstop for Santa Barbara. A check on Chamberlain at first. He gets back. One out here, and Farr raises a bunt in the air, so the bunt is not good enough as he bunted that one straight up, and Decker makes a smooth run to make the catch.
Yeah, that was like tossing a lob for a slam dunk to Charlie Decker. He just kind of, that's not what you want with your bunt, but he did that right there, and Decker with a good job to get off the mound and be aware.
Well, now that brings up Brady Dallimore for the Foresters, who grounded out his first time up. Chamberlain at first with 2 outs. Chopper on the ground to third. Holly tries to scoop it, is unable to do so, and everybody's safe. So now the Foresters have 2 runners on with 2 outs, and that one was just misplayed. Holly trying to show off that scooping ability of his, and he's done very well with it throughout the season, but just came up short there.
Yeah, it was a good try right there, and like you said, he's been hot at the defensive side on third base. He had just hit the heel of that glove and wasn't able to make the play there, so the Foresters now able to stay alive here with 2 outs.
Caden Miller now at the plate, the right fielder. Foresters in business. They're only chasing 1 run. There's a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Foresters definitely have a chance to break out in front here against the Conejo Oaks. Chamberlain at second, and Dallimore at first. The 0-1. Fouled straight back, 0-2. Well, the Oaks, they've won their last 2 against the Foresters, a 9-5 victory and a 4-1 victory this past Friday. It was at Santa Barbara this Friday. 0-2 on the way. Runner going, there's a grounder to second, and toss to second for the Force for out number 3. So the Foresters threaten in the 4th inning. They got 2 runners on but could not score. We now head to the bottom of the 4th. Stay tuned. Here we are now in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jacob Galloway will lead things off for the Conejo Oaks. As it's 1-0 Oaks as Noah Waldeck enters his 4th inning of work. Galloway grounds the first pitch he sees to Caleb Hoover, who tosses to Waldeck for the first out.
Well, the Oaks looking to add more to this lead.
Now batting, number 44, Landon West.
Now brings up Landon West, getting his second at-bat for the Oaks. West popped out his first time up, and he flies that one in the air to right field. Coming in is Caden Miller. He makes the catch out there and right. A quick 2 pitches and 2 outs.
Yeah, well, Waldeck's going to look to want to respond after allowing the first run of the game. Also, as it was a 3-hit bottom of the 3rd inning for the Oaks.
Could have been more had it not been for the caught stealing play where Tommy Kendlinger was caught stealing second after he delayed going to second because he saw Cade Falskin heading to 3rd.
Yeah, also a heads-up play just from Foresters catcher Zane Becker.
There's Tyler Hawley. He looks at a fastball strike right down the pipe. He flew out to right his first time up. Well, Tyler Hawley this past Sunday night went 0 for 4 at the plate. So there's a strike on the outside part of the plate. But, you know, to the satisfaction of the Oaks in relation to the free drink deal where if a certain player strikes out, they get a free drink, as Hawley lines a base hit to right center field. So he's on with 2 outs. Hawley did not satisfy the Riptide with getting a strikeout, so, you know, there was no free drink on that bet, but it's very interesting to say the least to hear about those things that happen here in the CCL.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, he grounded out all 3 times, and he was actually pulled out for Jonah Dawson by the 7th inning.
Devin Wilkes shoots that one right up the middle for a base hit. Hawley will hold at second, so back-to-back hits here in the bottom of the 4th inning have put runners at first and second.
It's now 6 straight games with a hit for Devin Wilkes. It had an exit speed of 99 miles per hour, according to our trackman and statistician Colin. So Wilkes with one of the hotter bats for the Oaks.
And the Oaks once again in business here in the bottom of the 4th. It's Brady Hewitt who fouls that one away. 0-1. Well, Hewitt in the 3rd inning reached on an infield single to 3rd. It was a high chopper that Mumal had fielded, but it took him a little fraction of a second to get it out of his glove.
Yeah, he just kind of hesitated. End up costing an infield single.
The 0-1 is fouled away, pretty much the same exact hit. So it's 0-2 on Hewitt. Hawley the runner at 3rd. Wilkes is the runner at 1st. Oaks with a chance to add some insurance runs. Jax Jimenez waits on deck. Oh-2 pitch. Misses in the dirt. The count 1-2 now on Hewitt. Yeah, Waldeck was able to shake off the 1 run allowed on the RBI single and get himself out of that inning with no further trouble. 1-2 on the way. That one is fouled straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, it's been, for the most part, a pitcher's duel here at Cal Lutheran as time is called, as it was a bad ball being tossed into the dugout. But it's 1-2 with 2 outs. Holly at second and Wilkes at first. 1-0 Oaks. 1-2 to Hewitt. Ground ball to the left side. Sawyer Farr boots it. And everybody's safe. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs as it is an error charged to Sawyer Farr. And a gift for the Oaks. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Yeah, I think he thought he had that in his glove and was already thinking about the play that he was going to make, and just ate him up and costed an error. And now a real opportunity to add even more insurance with 2 outs. And a guy like Jax Jimenez, who's coming up, we've already seen the power once here of him being able to blast one. Potentially could get the second one, and this would, 1, be the first Grand Slam, and then 2, be the...
Well, out to the mound goes Scott Murray, the pitching coach for the Santa Barbara Foresters. As Waldeck finds himself in trouble here with bases loaded, 2 outs.
Yeah, and it was 2 quick outs to begin this inning. But back-to-back singles from Holly and Wilkes, and the error by Farr has set up Jax Jimenez with loaded bases.
Bases full of Oaks with 2 outs. They lead 1-0. Holly, Wilkes, and Hewitt the runners. First pitch is in the dirt. Becker able to find it right underneath him. No balls and 1 strike.
And we've also seen the Oaks score in ways beyond just hitting the ball into play. We've seen a few pass balls that have resulted in what was the walk-off win on Saturday.
Grounder to the right side. It's just foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Holly at third, Wilkes at second. Hewitt at first with 2 outs as the Oaks have a 1-run lead. Waldeck looking to sort of erase that error and just finish this inning unscathed. 1-1. Popped up. Into short right field, Terrence Keel. Out into the grass to make the catch, so Oaks leave him loaded. And we head to the 5th inning, 1-0 Conejo. We'll be right back. We now enter the 5th inning as Charlie Decker enters his 5th inning of work. He has pitched 4 shutout innings so far on the day, topping his performance so far from last Tuesday. He pitched the first 3 innings scoreless. He did only allow 1 run last Tuesday against the Arroyo Seco Saints, as there's a first pitch strike on the outer part of the plate to Caleb Hoover.
Yeah, he's been highly efficient. And just another appearance and another start for the Oaks. And
that one is fouled straight back. 0-2. Quick 2 strikes. That's something that we've seen Charlie Decker do well today. Get ahead in the count early. I think that's something that's definitely been helping him stay on top of the hitters early and really as much as he can. And the 0-2 to Hoover. A little bit outside, 1-2.
Yeah, you put yourself under a lot more stress when continuously you have your backs against the wall. But Decker's calm and collected.
There's a swing and a miss from Hoover, so Charlie Decker now with his 5th strikeout of the day. Brings up Zane Becker. He popped out his first time up. Becker, we've seen him be pretty productive and do well behind the plate for the Foresters. He gets his second at bat right here, second plate appearance. There's a fastball high and away, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, still looking for his first hit on the season. In fact, he made his California Collegiate League debut last Friday versus the Oaks.
He takes that one low. The count is now 2-0.
But even in the small sample size, he already has 5 walks on the season. So he knows how to get on base.
There's a strike right over the plate. Yeah, he walked 3 times in that game against the Conejo Oaks. He ended up going just 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out and 3 walks. Two one. It misses inside. 3-1 now on Becker, so he's got a hitter's count. The Oaks still with the 1-0 lead, which they have been commanding very well on the day so far. Decker has really not had much trouble against him. 3-1. Misses outside, ball 4, so a 1-out walk to Zane Becker, and that's now the 6th time he's walked this season.
Yeah, and it's the first walk that Decker has allowed today. It's only his 6th walk he's allowed in the season.
That now brings up the top of the order with Brenton Clark. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out and a strikeout. There's a swing and a miss, no balls and 1 strike. 1 out here in the 5th inning, and Foresters, they need to get some offense going to come forward against the Oaks. No lead is safe, but want to command that offense as there's a check on Zane Becker at first base.
Yeah, Clark, one of 4 players that currently plays for the University of Arkansas Razorbacks.
The 0-1. Popped up on the infield. Holly calls for it and makes the catch. 2 outs. So Clark now 0 for 3 on the day. And that brings up Terrence Keel, the second baseman, who is so far 0 for 2 with a fly out and a strikeout. And Zane Becker at first base. Charlie Decker, seen him throw the ball really well on the day. He has gone through his innings quickly, as he did last Tuesday. There's a strike on the upper part of the zone. Looked like it was sort of in the middle in the upper part. So 0-1.
Yeah, and that off speed is highly effective when Decker goes to. That was 75 miles per hour right there.
The 0-1. On the outside corner, 0-2 on Terrence Keel. With 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
Well, last time he struck out Keel, he got him to chase on the outside slider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bottom just dropped out of it. 0-2 misses outside, 1-2 on Terrence Keel.
Keel was 0 for 3 in the Foresters' loss on Friday versus the Oaks. Had 1 walk in the 8th inning.
One-two pitch. There goes Becker. There's a fly ball to right center field. Chases Danuitz to the wall. He's there, and he makes the catch. So Charlie Decker has thrown 5 shutout innings, and we now head to the bottom of the 5th. Stay tuned. We'll be back. We're about halfway through this game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Do want to give a shout out to both the Conejo Oaks and Cal-Lu alumni who is currently in the house today. It is the legend himself, Luke Wexler. Came off a great season last year with the 2024 Conejo Oaks championship team. As Caden Falskin leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Oaks. He looks at a fastball high and outside. Well, Luke Wexler, and in this past season, he pitched for the Oaks. Of course, you know, outside of being an every week starter, that one misses outside. This past season, his senior year for Cal Lutheran, he was SCIAC Pitcher of the Year as well as first team All SCIAC, 2-time SCIAC Pitcher of the Week. So that one misses inside. It's now a 3-0 count on Falskin, and Wexler having his best season by far this past year. He went 7-1 on the season in 2025. That's right, just one loss all season, as misses upstairs for a leadoff walk to Cade Falskin.
Yeah, gets on base for the 2nd time today. And with how well Decker's pitching, you know that the Oaks would like to add a little bit more of a cushion, as they only lead 1-0 here. It's now Bill Pintard who's going to come up and meet with Waldeck at the mound. And imagine Waldeck's day right now. It's likely over.
Bullpen is busy for the Foresters. We'll see what becomes of this mound visit. And yeah, it looks like the Foresters will make a pitching change. So lefty coming in, we'll step aside for the moment. So Noah Waldeck's day is done. He ends up going 4+, and he yields way to the left-hander, Jaden Barfield. Jaden Barfield currently attending the University of Oklahoma, and so far this season for the Foresters, he's 2-0. He's made 4 appearances so far. This would be his 5th. His first appearance against the Oaks. He was last seen on June 29th against the San Luis Obispo Blues in what was a 5-4 win for the Foresters. And he was the winning pitcher of that game. He went 1 inning, struck out 2, allowed 1 run, and 2 hits. So that one misses low and inside to Tommy Kenlinger as we get back to the top of the order for the Conejo Oaks.
Comes in as a strong relief pitcher. Like you mentioned, a 2.7 ERA. Only allowed 1 walk with 11 strikeouts.
1-0 hits the inside corner for a strike, 1-1.
Still 1 runner to Waldeck's name as he walked Cade Falskin.
Nobody out. Falskin with a very good lead. There he goes. There's a fly ball in the air to right field, and the catch is made by Caden Miller. He throws to first, and it gets away from Caleb Hoover. Well, if Hoover catches that ball, that's very close. That may have been a double play if he had caught that ball.
Yeah, it certainly was, and Cade Falskin just, it was a great leadoff, but he didn't really anticipate the hit by Kenlinger kind of being a pop out into right field, and so he made a great slide attempt. I mean, he really took off to get back, and like you mentioned, the ball was on point. Would have been a double play.
Frankly, the jump that Falskin he got a great jump. I think Kenlinger would have been better off just taking that pitch.
Yeah.
Because I think Falskin would have been safe at second. It brings up Lucas Danuitz with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Another check on Falskin. He's got a good lead. He is really getting under the skin of Jaden Barfield. Barfield this season has struck out 11 batters for the Foresters. Misses outside for a ball. Well, Danuitz 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out and a ground out. One-0. Instead, it's a check on Falskin again. Yeah, Falskin, the Foresters and Barfield, they saw the jump that he got on that last steal attempt, and they also saw him steal third in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, he would have been safe by a mile had Kenlinger not driven out to right field.
Or if he had swung lighter. One ball and no strikes still is the count to Lucas Danuitz. And Falskin goes. He got a great jump, and he is out as Barfield had done another pickoff. Well, the consistent pickoff attempts pays off there as Barfield is able to throw to first, and Falskin, as fast as he is gunned down at second base for the 2nd out.
Yeah, stick with the process. It paid off for Barfield. Now 2 outs for the Foresters.
Fly ball in the air to left center field. And Brenton Clark is underneath it and makes the catch. So the Oaks get a walk. That runner is the race, though, by the Foresters. So we head to the 6th inning, still 1-0 Oaks. We'll be back. We now head to the 6th inning. Charlie Decker's day is done. He throws 5 shutout innings, so Decker has done his job for the day, and if this lead holds, then Decker will again be the pitcher of record and will have picked up his 3rd win of the season, and he yields way to Jake Thrift, a left-hander recently added to the Oaks roster, as we had seen just this past few days ago, and gets ready to throw his first pitch, making his CCL 2025 debut. He throws a strike to the outside corner to Easton Mumaw, leading things off for the Foresters. It's 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. Misses a little bit outside, 1-1. Well, Jake Thrift has played his first 2 years of college at Santa Barbara City College. He's currently in the portal. 1-1. Way outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, in 2025, he went 2-3 in 14 appearances, started 3 games, struck out 40 batters, allowed 58 hits, 32 runs, 28 of those were earned. There's a fastball that misses a little bit low, 3-1. Nice framing job there by Landon West behind the plate. So it's a 3-1 count on Easton Mumaw as Jake Thrift, he deals. Fastball misses outside. A leadoff walk to Mumaw.
Yeah, Thrift was ranked as the 19th left-handed pitcher by Perfect Game in 2022 in the state of California. Attended Moore Park High School, just a quick drive north here from Thousand Oaks.
Now that brings up Cole Chamberlain, the designated hitter for the Foresters. He singled his last time up. It was that inning where the Foresters in the 4th inning put a couple runners on but could not score, as that one misses in the dirt. It's blocked by Landon West.
Yeah, and a swing of the bat for the Foresters could get them the first lead of the game, with as the Oaks just holding on to a 1-0 lead with a 1 run they scored in the 3rd inning.
1-0 is popped up in foul territory. There is room. Tyler Hawley, very vocal. He calls for the ball and is able to make a running catch.
Yeah, great play right there by Hawley. Got out of his 3rd base post, and that's great communication right there. We've seen a few times between Oaks and their opponents, just communication being off right there, letting Landon West know, who, he had definitely a better angle at being able to get that out, as Landon West was kind of running, trying to catch it over his shoulder. So Hawley definitely had the better play right there.
It's also an easier play for Tyler Hawley because he doesn't have a bunch of gear on him, so it's easier for him to run.
That would also be true.
Fastball misses outside to Sawyer Farr, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Last time up, he came on with a runner on base and had attempted to lay down a bunt. Instead, he raised it up in the air for Charlie Decker to make the catch. 1 out, 1-0. In the dirt, blocked by West. It's 2-0 on Sawyer Farr.
Farr coming into this game with 18 hits, which is 3rd on the Foresters, and a team-leading 15 RBIs, as well as a leading 1 triple for the Foresters.
2-0. There's a fly ball high in the air to right field, chasing Danuitz to the wall. It's up against the wall. And Farr, now both runners are sort of caught in between. Farr is holding his place, and now they've got him in a rundown. Throw to first, and Wilkes puts the tag on him for the out. So it appeared to be a miscommunication or a confusion between the 2 runners, Sawyer Farr and Easton Mumaw. Not really sure what happened there. It looked like Farr wanted to go to second, but Mumaw had held there. I think Mumaw would have had a shot at going to third there, and I don't know, though. It was sort of a weird play.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, just where the ball was hit and pretty much all the way back to the wall, Danuitz had to make a run to get it. You would assume, Mumaw, he has the speed to make it to third base, and yeah, Farr was pretty upset even in the middle of the play that Mumaw didn't even try to make an attempt.
Yeah, I think he was disappointed by that. I think you're right there, as Brady Dallimore swings and misses, so that's a big difference, too. Now a runner at second with 2 outs instead of, perhaps second and third with 1 out. Ground ball to third. It kicks off of Holly, rolls to the middle of the infield. Dallimore will reach first as Mumaw holds at third. And so now the Foresters, they catch another break right there on the error by Holly.
Yeah, he's now had, well, they've only marked 1 error, but he's
Right.
really had 2 errors out in third base. The other one was the chopper. He just couldn't get his glove under. So, yeah, I mean, even with that miscommunication right there, it's still an opportunity for the Foresters to tie this game.
Yeah, they still have a chance here. And here's Caden Miller, the right fielder, first and third, 2 out, 1-run game. Miller looks at a ball upstairs, 1-0. Well, yeah, I mean, the Foresters with a mistake on the bases. Oaks was a lapse on the field. But we'll see what becomes of that here. The 1-0. Fouled straight back. Looked like that hit off the umpire. We hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's taking a quick second. Getting checked on by Caleb Hoover and Caden Miller.
Well, he's walking straight toward Thrift, which is a positive sign. He appears to be okay. Possibly just a little shaken up by the ball being hit straight back against his gear. Well, that's why they wear gear.
Yeah, and even if you wear the gear and a ball hits a helmet at that speed, it's still going to leave a little bit of a ring on your head, and he's still taking a little bit of time. Got to get his neck cracks in.
Can certainly relate to that. Well, for the time being, it's a 1-1 count on Caden Miller. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. There's a strike on the outside corner. It's now 1-2 on Miller.
Yeah, it was a good framing job right there by the newly added Landon West.
That's in the dirt. Taking off for second and safe is Brady Dallimore. So now the Foresters have runners at second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah, that was smart not to throw at second. I mean, Dallimore already had a big lead off. You knew he was going to steal the base and could have risked Easton Mumaw coming home.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. 2-2. That's high, goes to the backstop, coming to the plate and scoring is Mumaw, and we have a tie game. Well, what that does mean from a statistical standpoint now is that neither Decker nor Waldeck are the pitchers of record. It'll be a no decision for both of them.
Yeah, that one just got away right there from Thrift. And if we were playing in Santa Barbara, with the backstop that is so short between the distance between backstop and home plate, who knows? I mean, that definitely would have had a better chance to make the play at home plate, but there's just a lot more distance and didn't hit off the backstop the right way.
There's a swing and a miss. So down goes Caden Miller. And we now head to the bottom of the 6th. The Foresters have tied the game at 1. We'll be back. We now head to the bottom of the 6th. It is a tie game at 1. The Foresters tied it on, well, I would say on a hit and a walk and an error, but the Oaks caught a break on an out, but then it was really that error that led to the run, as well as the wild pitch in the top of the 6th inning on, from Jake Thrift on the mound, making his first appearance for the Oaks. Dealt a pitch that just went too high and sailed to the backstop. It's a 1-1 ball game as Jaden Barfield in his second inning of work deals a ball low and away. And leading off for the Oaks is Jacob Galloway. Oaks with a chance to get back out in front here in this inning. As that one misses low and inside, it's now a 2-0 count on Galloway. Galloway is 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of ground outs. He waits for a 2-0 pitch from Jaden Barfield. Skies one into center field rather shallow, and it's the shortstop Farr who goes onto the outfield grass to make the catch. 1 out.
Yeah, good play by Farr. Got out of his post and able to make the play. I mean, it was pretty much caught between center field and the infield, so Farr had to make a good run to get out with that out.
Brings up Landon West, getting his third at bat of the day. He is 0 for 2, a pop out and a fly out. First pitch from Barfield. West takes one outside, 1-0. Well, the Oaks, their one run came back in the third inning. Inning where Oaks put runners at the corners and then scored on that infield single by Kenlinger. There's a swing and a miss from Landon West for a strike. And it's interesting to think back because Kenlinger would be caught stealing on a play one batter later. And you wonder, would the Oaks have expanded on their runs that inning? One might think they would have, had it not been for that out.
Yeah, you also go back to the 4th inning where they loaded up the bases with 2 outs, and Jimenez just grounded out to second base.
1-2 is poked foul, and West reached for that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Landon West, a family of athletes. His brother Graydon played baseball at Rice as well, and then his father Greg played soccer at Tulsa, and his grandfather played golf at Tulsa. So multi-sport family.
1-2. A swing and a miss. Down goes Landon West, so a strikeout for Barfield for the second out.
Yeah, Barfield has really come into this game, and I think it's exactly what Bill Pintard and the Foresters wanted. We saw Waldeck start the game off on, retired the first 6 batters, but you've already mentioned it, that third inning, the Oaks got their first run, their only run thus far, and even in the 4th inning, he loaded up the bases off a few singles. And Barfield has really come in and retired all 4 batters he's faced thus far. Also just getting his first strikeout with the strikeout to Landon West.
Tyler Holly takes the ball in the dirt, 1-0. Well, Holly singled his last time up back in the 4th inning. And that was an inning where the Oaks, they loaded the bases but could not score out of it. 1-0 is a fastball that hits the lower part of the zone for a strike. So the count even at 1 on Tyler Holly as Jaden Barfield continues to work on some productive innings for the Foresters. That one misses low in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. Clock that one at 81 miles per hour.
Yeah, Barfield has both brothers, or 2 brothers I should say, both played at Texas Wesleyan University. That would be baseball. So a baseball family in the Barfield family lineage.
2-1. That one is fouled straight back. 2-2 is the count now. Well, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. It's been a very quiet bottom of the 6th inning so far, and Barfield, he's giving the Foresters, to your point, what they want. The 2-2. Fouled away again, so Holly putting up a good at-bat against Jaden Barfield, making him work. There continues to be activity in both bullpens. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tyler Holly. Barfield delivers. Line drive, base hit left field. So Tyler Holly with his 2nd hit of the day comes with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and the Oaks have a runner on with 2 outs.
Yeah, it was a good piece of hitting right there by Holly, and you know, it's just you just need that one batter to be able to get a hit on a guy like Barfield who's coming to this game hot. And a guy like Devin Wilkes is another one with a strong bat, been productive all season for the Oaks, as he stretched his hitting streak to now 6 with a single back in the 3rd inning.
A swing and a miss by Devin Wilkes, who, as you mentioned before, is currently on a 6-game hitting streak as of today. As of his last at-bat, I should say. He singled his last time up in the 4th. That one misses low for a ball, 1-1 on Wilkes. He's got 1 home run that came back on June 8th against the San Diego Bombers, who the Oaks will play this week. The Oaks will host the Bombers on tomorrow, at 4 p.m.
Yeah, Barfield just got Wilkes to chase on a low and outside slider. It's now 1-2.
Holly at first has a good lead with 2 outs. 1-2 is a fly ball in the air to right field. Miller coming on. He was playing very deep, but he's able to make a running catch. So now we head to the 7th inning. 1-1 is your score. We'll be back. Here we are now in the 7th inning. It's a 1-1 tie. Caleb Hoover will get things started for the Foresters, as it's been, a rather quiet scoring ball game aside from the 2 runs. There's a fastball strike on the outer part of the plate. Jake Thrift in his 2nd inning of work on the mound. He allowed a run in the top of the 6th inning. It's on that wild pitch. It did follow the error, though, from Holly, as there's a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Caleb Hoover 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-2 on the way. Misses upstairs, 1-2.
Yeah, it was just self-inflicted wounds on the top of that 6th inning for the Oaks.
It's interesting to think, too, because the Foresters had a self-inflicted wound on the bases that the Oaks could have taken advantage of, as there's strike 3 called to Caleb Hoover. He goes down for the second time today. And that now brings up Zane Becker for the Foresters. He is 0 for 1 with a pop out, and he walked his last time up.
Yeah, had Muma actually gone to third base and Far reached second, who knows what type of damage the Foresters could have done.
There's a fastball strike on the lower part of the zone. Yeah, because I'm more sure than not that Muma would have made it to third.
I'm right there with you, Sammy. I mean, the ball was hit far and well enough by Far to be a double.
There's a fastball outside for a ball, and it's not like Muma was tagging from first. Like because you can basically see that it's very unlikely for Danuitz to make the catch. Not that it's impossible, but, you could at least get a good enough jump to move a couple of bases. As there's a fly ball in the air to center field. Tommy Kenlinger right underneath it. He makes the catch for out number 2. As that will bring up Brenton Clark for the Foresters. Clark hitless on the day so far, 0 for 3. He popped out his last time up. As Terrence Keel waits on deck.
Yeah, both the 1 and 2 for the Foresters are a combined 0 and 6.
Clark showing bunt, but he pulls it back, 1-0. Both these teams dealing on some very even terms on the day. They're both atop of the CCL South.
Yeah, it would be a big win for the Oaks if they managed to pull this one through.
A swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned Foresters, they're on a 3-game winning streak, and the Oaks had their 4-game winning streak snapped by the Orange County Riptide, who's 4th place in the CCL South. They've got a 9-10 record as of last night. Their loss to the Foresters. It's a 2-1 count now on Brenton Clark with 2 outs. 2-1 is fouled off outside of the stadium, so it's now a 2-2 count.
Yeah, a good amount of traveling for the Foresters in the past 24 hours down to Orange County, now in Thousand Oaks.
That misses a little bit off the plate. It's now 3-2 on Brenton Clark.
And for the Oaks, after all that traveling, they have a 5-game homestand this week.
Full count. Thrift deals. It's fouled away. So still a full count on Brenton Clark. Two outs here in the top of the 7th inning.
The Oaks just 2 games behind the 14-4 Foresters at 12-6. Opportunity to make it 1 game.
3-2 from Thrift. Another foul ball. Clark staying alive at the plate. Yeah, these two teams facing off against each other for the 4th time today. They certainly know each other very well. 3-2. Misses low and away for ball 4, so a 2-out walk to Brenton Clark. That'll bring up Terrence Keel with 2 outs.
Yeah, right there. That was a good job by Clark to stay patient. Few of his foul balls were just kind of outside pitches that Thrift had thrown, and finally just had good eyes right there to take the walk. So an opportunity for Kill to get his first hit.
There's a fastball outside, 1-0. Well, Clark has great speed at first base. He could score from first on a ball hit to the wall.
He has 4 stolen bases on the season, 3rd.
It's the last one. Why no one wants it?
There's a pop-up in the air to right field. Danuitz comes on, and he makes the catch for out number 3, so still a 1-1 ball game. Time to stretch here at George Sparky Anderson Field as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Stay tuned. We now enter the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Brady Hewitt leading things off for the Oaks. Jaden Barfield in his 3rd inning of work. He has been pitching outstanding for the Foresters today. He has thrown 3 shutout innings so far. And he faces Hewitt, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a single. He reached on an error his last time up, and he pops that one up to the right side in foul territory. Caleb Hoover is there to make the catch.
Yeah, it's very similar to the game back on Friday when we saw Kahimi Kahalakai, the first relief pitcher for the Foresters, come in and pitch 4 scoreless innings. It was a little bit of a different situation. The Oaks were able to have a 4-1 lead before he came on, or I'm sorry, 2-1 lead. He did allow 2 runs, but after that he was very, very productive.
Jax Jimenez at the plate now. He swung through that one. He's behind 0-1. Jimenez 0 for 2 on the day so far. A fly out and a pop out. As the Oaks look to get out in front of the Foresters here in this inning. Ground ball left side. Farr falls down, gets back up, throw to first, not in time. Well, it was certainly an excellent recovery and effort by Sawyer Farr at short, but not much he could do there with the speed of Jimenez. And, I don't even necessarily think it was costly for him to take that tumble. I think, Jimenez, his speed, and it was just one of those in-between hops where Farr got caught a little bit off balance.
Yeah, he kind of just tripped between the line that separates the infield dirt and the grass of the outfield, just slipped. But yeah, I mean, his recovery was great, but it was a little too slow. And Jimenez with his base running, like you mentioned, is got the wheels.
There's a fastball strike on the outside corner to Cade Falskin, who is 1 for 1 on the day, a single and a walk. As Jimenez takes a good lead there at first. Certainly a good chance for the Oaks with a guy like him who can run to give them the lead. Falskin calls for time. The last run scored in this game was in the top of the 6th inning, scored by the Santa Barbara Foresters. The 0-1. Misses downstairs for a ball, and you see Barfield right there really taking his time, just keeping his eye on Jax Jimenez making sure that he doesn't get too cocky for his own good and try to steal. He's already had one runner caught stealing, and it was Falskin. As he swings and misses through that one. Falskin back in the 5th inning after he walked. He had been attempted to be picked off quite a few times, and then he tried to steal, and Barfield had indeed thrown down to first, and Hoover made the throw to second to get him. Well, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. 1-2. Misses outside. It's an even 2-2 count on Cade Falskin. Jimenez, the runner at first. 1 out, and Barfield checks on Jimenez once more. Well, Jax Jimenez, this season he has 2 stolen bases. He's at first with 1 out. Another check on Jimenez, and I think he could sort of see that one coming the way that Barfield had moved off the mound.
Yeah, he just kind of has a hitch when he tries to throw to first. But it's worked once.
Runner at first, 1 out, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled straight back. That one, the reason I'm sort of laughing is that one was headed right at my left eye.
Yeah, the protective name saved a life right there.
It did, yes. Thank God for protective screens. That one was coming fast, too. 2-2, a swing and a miss. So 1 out, and Jaden Barfield now with his 2nd strikeout.
48, Tommy Kendlinger.
Tommy Kendlinger steps to the plate now. He had an RBI infield single back in the 3rd inning. That's been the only run for the Oaks so far. And he looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Barfield giving the Foresters an outstanding performance on the mound today. You know, whatever happens this inning, he's been giving it his all. A swing and a miss. Count is even at 1 now on Kendlinger. Danuitz waits on deck. One ball, 1 strike. There goes Jimenez, and that one is fouled away. So the count's now 1-2. Well, there's another go at a hit and run there. Of course, saw that last time it tried to be applied with Kendlinger at the plate and Falskin trying to steal second, and Kendlinger ended up flying out. Shortly after that, Falskin ended up being caught on the bases there by the Foresters defense. And Kendlinger grounds that one to short. Toss to second for the force, and that will do it for the 7th inning. We're still tied at 1 as we head to the 8th inning. Stay tuned. Here we are now in the 8th inning, and new pitcher for the Conejo Oaks. It's going to be Luke Cesares after Jake Thrift goes 2 innings, allows 1 run. So Luke Cesares coming on for the Conejo Oaks. Cesares, the 5.68 ERA, making his 5th appearance of the season so far. He's 1-0 on the season, has struck out 5 batters. There's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Yeah, has not allowed a run in his last 3 innings pitched. Picked up the win versus the Saints in their 10-7 win last Wednesday, but actually his debut or first game of the season was versus the Foresters in the 14-5 loss.
Mumaw grounds it up the middle, fielded by Hewitt, throws to first for the out. That'll bring up Cole Chamberlain. Yeah, in last Wednesday against the Saints, he was the winning pitcher. He pitched 2 innings, struck out a couple of batters, faced 8 total batters, allowed just 1 hit, walked 1 batter. It was in a 10-7 win for the Conejo Oaks. And this is his 2nd time facing the Foresters this season. He pitched in that 14-5 loss for the Oaks. So that one misses inside, goes to the backstop.
Yeah, it was his toughest game. He only pitched in 1 inning versus the Foresters. About 3 runs, 3 hits, and 2 walks. Had 2 strikeouts in the 9 batters that he faced.
1-0. There's a fastball outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Back for his 2nd year with the Oaks. Played it for the 2024 California Collegiate League champions.
Played his freshman year this past season at LA Valley College. Teammates with Spencer Kratt, as that one is high and inside for ball 2. And by the way, Spencer Kratt recently committed to San Jose State University. Congrats to him. Well, it's a 3-0 count on Cole Chamberlain. It's 1 for 3 on the day with a single. Pitch on the way. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 3-1.
Yeah, good framing job right there by Landon West. Had a few of those in his debut today.
It's a 3-1 count on Chamberlain with 1 out. Cesares deals. Line drive, caught at second base by Cade Falskin, 2 gone.
Yeah, right place, right time for Cade Falskin. That one is just driven straight into the glove by Chamberlain. And you'll take that one. It was a 3-1 count.
Brings up Sawyer Farr for the Foresters. 1 for 3 on the day with a single. It was that hit where he was the one who ended up getting caught in between and chased out in a rundown. There's a fastball strike on the outside corner, and Cesares hit 91 right there.
Yeah, Farr didn't like that call. And I have to say, that was a bit outside, but West continues to do a good framing job.
No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one is popped back, foul, out of play. So it's an 0-2 count on Sawyer Farr. And it's still a 1-1 tie here in the 8th inning. 2 outs in the top of the 8th.
Setting up to be a good one here.
0-2 from Cesares. High and outside, ball 1. Certainly a tight game between these 2 teams. 2 very good teams. Anybody's ball game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cesares deals. That one is fouled away, so it continues to be 1-2.
And you just go back to that play back in the 6th inning where he drove one all the way to the wall in right field, and was eventually out because of just miscommunication on the bags.
1-2 is fouled away again so far, putting up a nice at-bat against Luke Cesares. Just battling until he gets his pitch. One ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Cesares delivers. Misses a little bit off the plate for a ball. The count is even at 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Far pokes one into left field. It is a foul ball. Another foul ball there. So Sawyer Farr is really getting his money's worth at the plate here against Luke Cesares. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 8th, a 1-1 game. Cesares delivers. High and outside. It's a full count on Sawyer Farr. Three balls and 2 strikes. Payoff. Farr pokes it in the air to left field. It is going to get down for a base hit. So Sawyer Farr wins the battle against Luke Cesares. That was a great at-bat by Sawyer Farr.
Yeah, just pokes it into left field. He would try to get back, and obviously has the speed to make plays like that, but it's just a little bit out of his reach and able to kind of drop in that dead spot of the shallow left field.
Well, with 2 outs now, here is Brady Dallimore with Sawyer Farr at first. A pretty good lead for him. That one misses inside for a ball, 1-0. Well, Foresters, they scored a couple innings ago in the top of the 6th to tie the game. There has not been a run scored since. The Yokes have not scored since the 3rd inning. 1-0. Fastball misses a little bit upstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Two out here in the top of the 8th inning. 2-0 to Dallimore. There goes Farr. That one is ripped. Fair ball down the left field line and will head to the corner. Farr is on his way to 3rd. They will bring him to the plate, and he will score. And the Foresters jump out to a 2-1 lead on an RBI double by Brady Dallimore as Farr scores from first, and we have a new ball game.
Yeah, Dallimore just rips that down the left field line. Holly tried to make a play at it, but it dropped right, probably 2 inches just off the line right there to stay fair, and then it kind of goes into that corner pocket of left field between the bullpen and fair play, and it was a tough run that Jimenez had to make, and Farr with his speed was able to bring it home.
2-1 Santa Barbara as Caden Miller will step to the plate. Luke Cesares looks to end this inning. Miller pops it up to the left side in foul territory. Tyler Hawley is able to track it down. Foresters take the lead, 2-1. Thanks to a single by Farr and an RBI double by Dallimore. We head to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back. We now head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The new pitcher for the Foresters is Ethan O'Neill. Ethan O'Neill 1-0 so far this summer, a 13.5 ERA. He has struck out 6 batters, walked 3. He was last seen on June 28th, this past Saturday at San Luis Obispo. He was the winning pitcher in that game in a 5-4 victory over the Blues. He allowed just 1 hit, struck out 3 batters, did not allow a run. He faced 8 in that game as he deals a strike right on the outside corner to Lucas Danuitz. Well, Danuitz is 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of flyouts and a ground out. There's a fastball upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Ethan O'Neill spending his last season at Nevada University for the Wolfpack. A redshirt senior.
1-1 on the way. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Past season posted a 5.34 ERA with a 1-3 record in 22 appearances. And 39 strikeouts, allowed 29 hits and 18 runs in 28 innings pitched.
1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Neill delivers, and it's low and outside. The count is even at 2. Well, the Foresters, they took the lead in the top of the 8th inning. It was a single by Farr, and then an RBI double by Brady Dallimore. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Danuitz. Misses upstairs, it's a full count. Galloway waits on deck for the Oaks. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oaks looking to respond back with a run or 2. 3-2. Chopper over the glove of O'Neill. Keel comes in, throws to first, in time for the out. So Danuitz retired, and that'll bring up Jacob Galloway.
Good job by Kill to charge at the ball and just actually really caught it on the heel of it, but was still able to maintain control and gets it over to first just in time, but showing off his speed out of his second base post.
Jacob Galloway also hitless on the day, a couple of ground outs and a pop out. Well, Foresters are now 5 outs away from advancing to a 15-4 record, as there's a strike on the inner part of the plate. 0-1, and, you know, should the Foresters hold on to this lead, it would be a 4-game winning streak that they extend to, and the Oaks, they dropped their last game. That snapped their 4-game winning streak. The 0-1. Galloway grounds 1 to short. Sawyer Farr throws to first for the out.
Yeah, this time he follows the ball all the way into his glove. We saw last time he collected the only error for the Foresters. This time staying patient and works in his favor as he's able to get the ground out.
Brings up Landon West, who is hitless on the day so far. He was a strikeout victim his last time up against Jaden Barfield. And how about Jaden Barfield, man? You got to give him a lot of credit. He pitched 3 shutout innings in relief. Fastball a little bit outside for a ball. And Barfield, he struck out 2 batters, but just, you know, did not ensue a lot of damage against the Oaks. 1 ball and no strikes. A swing and a miss. So it's an even 1-1 count on Landon West. Tyler Hawley waits on deck for the Oaks. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1. Check swing, and West did not go around. So he's ahead in the count, 2-1. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Ethan O'Neill has retired the first 2, and that one clips West by the elbow, so he goes down to first.
Yeah, elbow, hip. I couldn't really see exactly where that hit him, but
might have hit both.
But with 2 outs, the Oaks with the man on base.
Well, that brings up Tyler Hawley, and Forrester's certainly in a very vulnerable position right here. They do have a 2-1 lead, but Oaks have the tying run on base and the go-ahead run at the plate, and Tyler Hawley saw him launch a 2-run home run over the left field wall at Ventura College this past Saturday.
Yeah, he's
looks to do some damage. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
He's also been the best bat today for the Oaks. He's 2 for 3. 2 singles. But both times has ended up stranded on the bags.
No balls and 1 strike. West at first, 2 outs. And the 0-1. Hawley swings through that one for strike 2, 0-2. Devin Wilkes waits on deck for the Oaks, as Hawley is behind 0-2 with 2 outs. Oh, 2. That one is fouled away. There's still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Actually fouled off. There's a group of campers that just were surprised by a foul ball off to the right in the parking lot.
Always exciting when you have a chance to chase one of those. The 0-2 misses low and away. It's 1-2 on Hawley. Just a 1-run lead that the Foresters are holding. I beg your pardon, it's a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, ground ball to the left side. Sawyer Farr can't come up with it. It's into left field for a base hit. So the Oaks now have the go-ahead runs on base.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there as the ball just hops over the glove as far as now Isaac Field comes in with bringing now lots of speed to the bases as it brings up Devin Wilkes. Someone who comes into this game with being 3rd on the team with 11 RBIs.
So there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th for the Oaks. Devin Wilkes can definitely do some damage right here. He does have a single on the day. There's 2 on with 2 outs. Chopper on the ground to short. Farr can't handle it. It goes into center field, and in to score is Isaac Veal, who pinch ran, and Hawley goes to 3rd, and we are tied again at 2.
Yeah, just ate up Farr at short, and second time we've seen him kind of struggle with those ground balls. And this one, a costly one, as it now ties the game here.
And that is another error for Sawyer Farr.
And it also now puts Hawley at 3rd base. So the swing of a bat right here from Hewitt. As Borjas now coming on as a pinch runner.
Yeah, Borjas running for Devin Wilkes. Great speed on the bases. So Brady Hewitt steps in there, 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. The go-ahead run is Hawley at 3rd. First pitch. A strike that catches the upper part of the zone, 0-1. Hawley at 3rd, Borjas at 1st with 2 outs. The 0-1. A swing and a miss. Brady Hewitt chases that high pitch. 0-2. Jax Jimenez waits on deck.
It's now back-to-back games that Wilkes has recorded an RBI.
First and third with 2 outs. No balls, 2 strikes. There goes Borjas. Hewitt lifts one in the air, foul to the left side. It will get out of play. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Holly and Borjas, the runners on base. Oh, 2. In the air to right field, not very deep. In comes Caden Miller to make the catch. So the Oaks have tied the game and they leave a couple runners on. It's 2-2 heading into the 9th. We'll be back. Well, here we are in the 9th inning. It is a tie game at 2 and some defensive substitutions as a result of those pinch runners. Anthony Thomas is now behind the dish, and Jake Schwartz is at first base for the Conejo Oaks. And Luke Cesares enters his 2nd inning of work.
I also believe that Ethan Gonzalez now at second base, replacing Cade Falskin.
So no balls and 1 strike. The count to Caleb Hoover, 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts. The 0-1. Misses high and outside for ball 1. It's an even 1-1 count. Well, it really is anybody's ball game. It's getting very interesting here in the 9th inning, tied at 2. Pitches outside, 2-1. Well, the Foresters, they scored in the top of the 8th. Oaks responded in the bottom half with a run. There's a strike right on the inside corner, 2-2 on Caleb Hoover. He's yet to reach base in this game. Looks to get something started here for the Foresters. 2-2. Ground ball left side, and it's under the glove of Brady Hewitt into left field for a hit. So
Yeah.
Hoover, just like I said, gets on with the leadoff single.
Yeah, just muscled that into center, or left field, I should say. And Hewitt, with a good play out at shortstop, try to make the diving backhanded grab.
So Hoover at first. With nobody out, it'll bring up Zane Becker.
Yeah, represents the go-ahead run at first.
Time is called. A ball came in from the bullpen. Oh, there's also a ball at the backstop. So, little delay, but Zane Becker steps to the plate. He is 0 for 2 on the day so far. He has walked once. And so Hoover is at first with nobody out. First pitch from Cesares, and shows bunt, but pulls it back as that one misses upstairs for a ball. One ball, no strikes, and Hoover at first. He's got a big lead, and that one misses low. 2-0 on Zane Becker. Well, it's a chance for the Foresters to get back out in front, and you know they're going to want some insurance as well, because one-run leads have not proven to be enough today. 2-0. Bounce foul to the left side. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's been, a back and forth, a low scoring back and forth affair. Runner at first, nobody out, 2 balls and 1 strike. There goes Hoover. Pitches outside. Hoover is safe by a mile.
Yeah, Thomas didn't even get out of his stance to attempt to get the caught stealing, and Hoover's got some wheels to him. Not a easy out. That's now his 4th stolen base. I apologize.
That would be his first stolen base of the season. So he's at second with nobody out. That takes away the force play double play. 3-1. Misses upstairs, ball 4. So a single and a walk have started this inning off for the Foresters. And that will bring up Brenton Clark, the center fielder. Certainly a chance for the Foresters as they are in business in this 9th inning.
Yeah, he is someone that is due up for a hit. He leads the team with 21, as well as leads with a .404 batting average.
He's 0 for 3 on the day so far with a walk. He is showing bunt already and now pulling it back, and he shoots one to short. Hewitt able to handle the hop, throw to second for 1, throw to first, not in time. A really nice play there by Brady Hewitt at short, able to, stay composed and take that hop and adjust his glove accordingly. He gets the middle runner, Becker. But the Foresters have the go-ahead run at third now with 1 out. And, nice attempt there on the fake bunt, as he hit that one pretty well, and we've seen a lot of balls like that have been mishandled on the field today. Well, first and third, 1 out. Terrence Keel is the batter. Takes a high fastball, 1-0.
Yeah, someone else that looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 4. Has popped out to right field and center field, as well as a strikeout.
Check on Clark at first. He gets back. Good speed on the bases for the Foresters. Yeah, when Hoover had stolen second, I mean, it looked like Cesares completely ignored him. Hoover and Clark, the runners. 1-0. Fouled away. It's an even 1-1 count. Keel certainly has a chance to break through here. His bat has been quiet on the day. One ball and one strike with one out. Hoover at third, Clark at first with one out. 1-1 pitch. There goes Clark. The pitch is inside, and there will be no throw to second. So that takes away the force play. It's now second and third with one out.
Yeah, with the speed of Clark and Hoover, if Kill is able to put this into the outfield as the infield now comes in, but if he's able to put this in the outfield, that's potentially 2 runs right there the Foresters can score, just with the speed that they have on the bags.
Infield is moved up for the Oaks. There's a line drive, base hit to right field. 1 run will score. That's Hoover. Clark right behind him. Throws cut off. Now the throw home is not in time. And just like that, the Foresters jump out in front and take a 4-2 lead on a 2 RBI single by Terrence Keel, who moved to second on the throw home.
Right on cue. That's his 8th RBI of the season, and exactly like that, put it into play, and with their base running, able to score 2 runs as the Oaks are going to turn to the bullpen as Cesares' day is over, and now the Oaks trailing by 2. So we'll take a quick break as looks like Cade Berry coming on for the Oaks, but Oaks now trailing 4-2.
So Luke Cesares' day is done. He yields way to Cade Berry for the Conejo Oaks, making his 5th appearance this season as he deals one low to Easton Mumaw. Well, Cade Berry has pitched in 4 games. He was last seen on this past Friday against the Santa Barbara Foresters at Eddie Matthews Field in the 4-1 victory. He pitched 1 shutout inning, walked 3 batters. There goes Keel. There's a fly ball to left field. Jimenez is there to make the catch. He may have a double play, and he does. He throws to second to double off Terrence Keel. Well, the hit and run backfires as on that fly ball to left, Keel just strayed too far from the bag. So Cade Berry faces 1 batter and gets the Oaks out of the inning, but not before the Foresters take a 4-2 lead. Last chance for the Oaks to come back in the bottom of the 9th. We'll be back. Here we are in the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Oaks to come back. They are chasing 2 runs. This is the largest lead that the Foresters have had today. And on the mound for the Foresters is Steele Eves. Steele Eves has made 2 appearances so far. He's not allowed a run yet this season, and he deals one outside to Jax Jimenez. Well, Eves was last seen on this past Sunday against the San Luis Obispo Blues in the Foresters' 5-4 victory as Jimenez fouls that one off.
Yeah, Eves came in as the closer in that 9th inning. Like you said, struck out 2 and got the save.
1-1. Hits the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, both games that Eves has pitched in so far, they were both against the Blues. He pitched against the Blues on June 25th on the road in what was a 10-3 victory for the Foresters. Eves has 1 save as well. Picked up his save this past Sunday against the Blues. He's struck out 4 batters on the season so far, as he's got a 1-2 count on Jax Jimenez. He delivers. Fastball high and outside. It's 2-2. Jax Jimenez, he had an infield single his last time up back in the 7th inning. He swings and misses for out number 1. So Eves now with his 5th strikeout of the season. 1 gone.
Up comes Ethan Gonzalez, who's pinch hitting for Cade Falskin, and if there's anyone you want that has the hot bat, it's Ethan Gonzalez to get something started working on a 9-game hitting streak.
Gonzalez looks at a strike right over the plate. Yeah, Ethan Gonzalez, he was a leadoff batter for the Oaks in place of Tommy Kenlinger this past Sunday, and he went 3 for 4 as he lines that one out to right field, and Miller is there to make the catch. 2 outs.
Yeah, just a little bit more juice on that than he probably wanted, as Miller doesn't really have to move much to get that out.
Well, that brings up Tommy Kenlinger now for the Conejo Oaks.
One final chance.
Kenlinger had an RBI single back in the 3rd inning as he looks at a strike. Yeah, and if Gonzalez had gotten a hit right there, that would have been a 10-game hitting streak. In the air to center field. And the catch is made out there in center field. And that'll do it. Foresters win 4-2 over the Conejo Oaks. And Steele Eves with his 2nd save of the season. His 2nd consecutive save. And the Oaks have dropped 2 in a row. And the Foresters now off to a 4-game winning streak as Foresters take care of business here at George Sparky Anderson Field. The losing pitcher today for the Oaks is Luke Cesares. He's now 1-1 on the season. And Ethan O'Neill with the win. And we will welcome you back up to our broadcast booth. Well, it was a tight game. It was a great game. You know, the Oaks and the Foresters went back and forth. You saw the Oaks strike first in that 3rd inning. The Foresters scored a few innings later. And, you know, you saw that 8th inning, both the Foresters and the Oaks score a run, but then that top of the 9th, that 2-run single by Terrence Keel really sealed the deal for the Foresters, and they hung on for the win.
It certainly did, and, you know, Charlie Decker, the starting pitcher for the Oaks, came out hot. I mean, pitched 5 scoreless innings. Everything was working on all cylinders for him. But it was really the relief pitching, if you look at it, for the Oaks that came in and kind of fumbled this game away. And, you know, it was unfortunate, too. I mean, you look at the batters, they weren't able to get as, you know, many hits to start this game, and that kind of cost the deal. And the Foresters, they're a good team, man. I mean, there's a reason that they're number 1, and they've had so much success in recent years because they're able to pull out games like this. And when you only give them a 1-run, a 2-run, you know, deficit, they're able to fight back. And you know they really wanted this one after losing at home on Friday.
Certainly, the Foresters now advance to 15-4 on the season. The Oaks now 12-7. Then the Foresters, they remain atop of the CCL South. Well, Oaks will be back here tomorrow against the San Diego Bombers at 4 p.m. right here at George Sparky Anderson Field. Until then, on behalf of our spectacular crew, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Alongside Judo Kanyas, I'm Sammy Fawn, and we will see you tomorrow